Ryan Nichols and Stephanie Pauly, our producers today. Open Line West Virginia coming up after 2:30. State Democratic Party Chair and Delegate Mike Pushkin is standing by. It's Metro News Midday.
Metro News Midday is presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com. Join in by calling 800-765-8255 or text 304-TALK-304. Let's go live to downtown Charleston. Here's Dave Allen.
Welcome into the 2 o'clock hour, Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit SalangoLaw.com. Quick reminder that tomorrow is Wednesday, which means we'll recognize another wonderful West Virginian for doing great things in their community, but we rely on you to let us know about it. You got somebody that's working with veterans, somebody that's working with youth sports, somebody that's doing litter cleanup, whatever they're doing, if it's good stuff, we want to hear about it. Drop us an email, midday@WVMetroNews.com. It's midday@WVMetroNews.com. You can reach out to me on social media, Dave Allen Radio on Facebook or at Dave A70 on X, or also reach out to Amanda Barron as well. We'll get to Open Line West Virginia coming up after 2:30. Your chance to weigh in on any subject that you wish via the phone or via the text. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Welcome to the show now. State Democratic Party Chair and Delegate Mike Pushkin. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. Doing well. Good to see you. Haven't seen you since Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
When we had on your morning show. For those listening across the state, Dave has a morning show here in Charleston, and we had a great time on Christmas Eve on that show.
We brought in Mr. Pushkin, who is quite the accomplished singer and guitarist. We brought in Amos Steel Band.
They were great.
We had Alicia, good friend.
Alicia Alcudwa, violinist extraordinaire in the Charleston area.
It was a really good show, despite the host.
I think you held your own. You were the glue that held it all together.
Yeah, exactly. But
you were the rug that tied the room together.
When you get musicians, and you're a musician. Musicians love to play, and sometimes I think sometimes it can. I've been around the music business enough to know that sometimes you can overcomplicate it, and you can say, "Hey, just have fun." And that's the way we started doing this show, the local show in Charleston years ago. Was just and you're halfway through it, and you did something wrong. I would start it over again. It's not like you're on stage, at the Sphere or something. Just start over again. We had fun with it, but I appreciate your help. And that was always
it was fun. Thanks for having me on.
Having a good holiday,
including me in that each year.
Have a good holiday season.
I did.
Okay.
We're still in the midst of it.
I know you are. That's why I'm saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, so far so good. Now looking forward to a new year.
Okay. All right. So yesterday, news came out, Mike. The Governor Morrissey announcing yesterday that the state has secured $199 million in the coming year for the Federal Rural Health Transformation Fund, and the award almost doubled the guaranteed minimum for the year. Now, these are $145 million to $281 million for the coming year. Governor said the funding reflects, quote, the strength, depth, and statewide focus of West Virginia's plans to rural health care delivery and to improve the outcomes for families and community. Let me continue this quote, and I'll get your take on it. This is a direct quote from the governor. The $199 million investment for 2026 provides a transformative foundation to improve health outcomes, to expand access to care, and to strengthen the families and communities throughout West Virginia. The award positions our state, said the governor, to deliver better care closer to home and to build a healthier future for generations to come. Also has the highest per capita award of any state West Virginia touches. Your take?
Yeah, I saw that press release, and that's all well and good. However, let's back up to why that fund was created to begin with and where it comes from. That comes from the Trump spending bill, what some people refer to as the one big beautiful bill, and it was to make up to massive cuts to health care. Massive cuts to Medicare. We're going to see many West Virginians are going to see their premiums skyrocket here shortly. Those who get their insurance through the ACA marketplace are going to see. Yeah, I've heard from constituents that are going to go from $400 a month to over $2,000, over $2,500 a month. That's completely unaffordable. Unattainable and just unacceptable, and to make up for it, because there's going to be a huge hit to rural hospitals when you take those subsidies away, and when you take the cut Medicaid to a state like West Virginia, who's going to take the biggest hit? Rural hospitals. And now we're seeing possibly 13 to 15 rural hospitals they're going to have to close that could close. Now we've already seen cuts to programs like the maternity ward in Greenbrier Valley. They've already cut that. That was because of the one big beautiful bill, or whatever you want to call it. So to make up for that, to try to compensate for it, they've created this rural health initiative fund. And yeah, West Virginia's got a pretty good sized chunk this year, but it doesn't come close to making up for the, close to $1 billion a year that we're going to lose. And it's going to affect our rural health care. It doesn't make up for that, not even close. So it's a Ponzi scheme. You say you're going to take away $1 billion in this hand, but hand you $199 million in this hand. I'm not a mathematician, but that doesn't add up. And it's for it's one-time funding. You have to reapply each year, so it's one-time funding that we're guaranteed for a bunch of initiatives that many of which I've looked through don't do a thing to protect our rural hospitals.
Yeah, and there has been a lot of concern. Again, we're talking with State Democratic Party Chair and Delegate Mike Pushkin. And the reason I'm asking you to put your delegate hat on for a minute, because you serve in the legislature out of Kanawha County, and you have friends and colleagues from both parties all over the state of West Virginia, and there have been some major concerns with hospital associations, so on and so forth, about the cuts to these rural hospitals. I don't want to be the one to push the alarm button, but there have been others, not necessarily me, but others that have said that some of these facilities are going to close.
Yes. Yeah, we hear that from the Hospital Association.
Jim Kaufman,
I've got numbers from Kaiser Family Foundation. Just sheer numbers, not partisan. And definitely the Hospital Association is definitely not a partisan group. It's just about hospitals, and that's where we're getting our numbers from. And while we welcome these funds that we have to apply to yearly, that's great, but it's not going to offset the loss and the hit that's going to be taken by these rural hospitals, which means folks are going to have to drive further to get access to health care if they can even afford insurance. And that's the problem. You're going to see in the next, in a short period of time, a lot of folks who get their insurance through the marketplace. These are small business owners. These are independent contractors. Many folks that I've heard from are not going to be able to afford health care anymore. And you're going to have a whole, over 60,000 people in West Virginia possibly without health care, and that's going to cause everybody's health care to go up. So it is a crisis. And while we welcome the funds, and I'm glad we got it, it's not going to offset it.
Some of the other initiatives, the governor talked about this in the part of, and again, we're talking to State Democratic Party Chair and Delegate Mike Pushkin. Some of the initiatives included the Mountain Health Challenge, which encourages physical activity and efforts to remove harmful dyes from food. We've already been round and round about that. And, the governor, the Morrissey administration has emphasized that already. But they talk about the distance between patients and providers. That is an issue. The lack of access to rural health care providers, resources, West Virginians, connecting West Virginians to the workforce if they become healthier, preventing adverse health outcomes through exercise, lifestyle changes, nutrition, so on and so forth. So all those are good things that could possibly come out of this bill, Mike. You would say.
Look, those are all good initiatives. I support all of those. We all want people to get healthier. However, we all know you could be. I just left the gym. I could have been hit by a truck when I left there. Bad things happen. Catastrophes happen. Hate to be the one to tell you this, but that doesn't do anything to offset the hit that is going to happen to these rural hospitals. When people go without health insurance, it's going to it's going to cause a hit to these rural hospitals. It's going to cause people to not be insured. That's going to cause other people's premiums to go up. And we all want, people should take care of themselves. Everybody should be healthier. But that doesn't stop people from getting sick. We all know that. That's just one of the initiatives. This thing about expanding telehealth. Well, that'll be good for the bigger hospitals, but that doesn't help the rural hospitals. I don't see anything in any of these plans that are going to do anything to prevent these rural hospitals from closing. And then people in these areas, which is much of our state, West Virginia is a very rural state. I will tell you that. They're going to have to travel further in the case of
West Virginia is not Charleston, Morgantown, Martinsburg, and Huntington. I mean, those are great cities, don't get me wrong, but that's not the majority of West Virginia.
So many folks in West Virginia are going to have to travel further for health care. Health care will be less accessible for them, and I don't see anything in any of these initiatives that change any of that. So sure, we all love the presidential fitness test. We're old enough where we did that in gym class. I don't see how spending money on that it really makes sense. It's part of your your gym class. You do a couple more chin-ups or whatever, and that's not going to prevent people from getting sick. And unfortunately, that doesn't prevent catastrophic illness and emergencies and folks where people need to get to a hospital.
What would you like to see happen in this field? And what ideally, what would you like to see happen to improve? Because we have, you said it, we said a health care price.
I'd like to see the Republicans in Congress come to the table first of all and expand those subsidies to the ACA folks to get their insurance through the marketplace.
But what about the money, Mike? I mean, this country is bleeding money. You know that as well as I do. What about the money? I mean, and the cost of these things.
Well, they're talking about this fund isn't how many billions of dollars nationwide have they put into this fund, and I don't think any of it's going to save any of our rural hospitals. Mm-hmm. So it's a matter of priorities. It's where they put the money. But we all know this is one of the wealthiest nations in the history of the world. Yet we have health care completely wrong, and probably are one of the worst at doing it. To have so many people going uninsured, you're going to see a lot more people go uninsured once we see the effects of the Trump spending bill. It's kicking people off of their health care, and let's be honest about it, in order to pay for tax cuts for billionaires. That's what the bill does. And this fund, while it's great that West Virginia got this share of it, it's not going to do anything to keep our rural hospitals open, and people will go without care.
I want to switch gears from what we had on earlier in the show, Mike. We had your colleague, Delegate Evan Hansen out of Mon County on with his concerns about data centers. And those have been in the news a lot outside West Virginia, some issues that they're having in some other states, Virginia among those, but yet there are those that are huge proponents of data centers. Where are you on data centers?
I am a proponent of local control, and that was my biggest issue with the bill that passed last year. I think it was House Bill 2014. Is it took away local control. I think those are our county commissions and our city councils. Those are the governing bodies that are closest to the people, mm-hmm. and they're the ones that pick up the phone and answer the calls when their constituents call. And we stripped all of the ability for these governing bodies to have any say in the regulation of these data centers, which unfortunately do not hire a whole bunch of people once they're up and running, and take up a whole lot of resources, and could lead to people having much higher utility rates, which we already have some of the highest utility rates per capita in the entire country. And this could just exacerbate that problem, make it a lot worse. So let me jump in here. I would like to see us go back and restore some local control.
But that's what I wanted to bring that up, because that's one of the things I asked Delegate Hansen, Amanda and I asked Delegate Hansen about some priorities for the upcoming legislative session, and he gave us three that they want, transparency being one. But one of the ones that really stuck out to me, Mike, was when he talked about returning local control. And I will say this, and this is just an opinion on my behalf, it's the most conservative Republican thing in the world to have local control.
Oh yeah, it used to be.
Well, no, that's my point.
Not your current Republican Party.
And that's my point. And that's one of the problems that I have with many Republicans at this point, is that we no longer seem to remember that. We want to take things away from local control. That's not very conservative. I mean, to be honest with you.
Somebody said a long time ago, power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely. When you have one party with so much power, it has been corrupted. And they don't want to relinquish any of that power to our county commissions and our city councils, who are, like I said, closest to the people.
But you understand where I'm going with that. What I'm saying is, if you are a classic conservative, think Reagan era Republican, I mean, the whole basis of the conservative movement and the Republican Party was to get power out of Charleston, to get power out of Washington, D.C., and return it to the states.
Until they became the majority.
In many cases, this is not very Republican and very conservative. That's just my opinion.
Right, you're right. It's not very conservative of them to strip the power, and it's all in that bill. And that's the worst thing about that bill, House Bill 2014, is that it doesn't allow for even local zoning ordinances to regulate these data centers. And there are many communities across the state. And we went out and we did our kitchen table tour all over the state. And in areas where they're talking about having these data centers, people were against it, and they should be listened to. And they're the ones that have to live next door to it. They're the ones that are in these communities, and nobody seems to be listening to them, especially their delegates and their senators. on the Republican side of the aisle who they sent down here to Charleston. They should go back and listen to their constituents like we did, because they don't want these.
All right. Can you hang out with me here 1 second? Because I want to talk about the upcoming legislative session and how one of the last times we had you on the show, we talked about candidate recruitment.
Sure.
I want to see how that's going. State Democratic Party Chair and Delegate Mike Pushkin is here. It's 2:21. We'll take a break and come back after this.
The Mountain State Assessment of Trends in Community Health, or MATCH, is a survey sent to 88,000 West Virginian home addresses where the information you provide can support policymakers to direct resources to help your community. If selected, you will receive the survey information and invitation in the mail. You can complete the survey online, by mail, or by phone, and you will be compensated for your time. Visit WVMetroNews.org for more information. Helping your community is a touchdown for West Virginia.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
They're not.
A mochi moment from Mark, who writes, I just want to thank you for making GLP-1s affordable. What would have been over $1,000 a month is just $99 a month with Mochi. Money shouldn't be a barrier to healthy weight. 3 months in, and I have smaller jeans and a bigger wallet. You're the best. Thanks, Mark. I'm Myra Ahmed, founder of Mochi Health. To find your Mochi moment, visit joinmochi.com.
Mark is a Mochi member compensated for his story.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable Scent Boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
boss, 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 bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Looking for something new? Try fencing, the Olympic and Paralympic sport that mixes speed, strategy, and fun. It's like chess meets cardio. Quick feet, quick decisions, and a satisfying beat when you score a point. Kids, teens, and adults can start anytime. No experience needed, and many clubs have loaner gear. Coaches teach fundamentals and safety from day one. Find a beginner class near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing. That's usafencing.org/tryfencing.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-824-0593 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-824-0593. That's 800-824-0593. What do you have to lose? Call 800-824-0593. Again, 800-824-0593.
10 athletes will face the toughest job interview in fitness that will push past physical and mental breaking points. You are the fittest of the fit. Only one of you will leave here with an iFit contract for $250,000.
This is when mindset comes in.
Someone will be eliminated.
Pressure is coming down.
Trainer Games on Prime Video January 8th. Watch the trailer on trainergames.com.
This is Metro News Midday on a 103.3 WKMZ in Clarksburg.
A WVRC media station. We're proud to live here, too. Welcome back to the show, 226 Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Open line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour, 765-TALK, or text 304-TALK-304. State Democratic Party Chair and Delegate Mike Pushkin is here. Mike, once we ring in the new year, of course, the legislative session will be starting in a couple of weeks, but all of the House of Delegates seats are up. Several of the Senate seats are up. I had you on once before. You were talking about candidate recruitment,
yes,
and your goal is to try to have somebody in every race possible. How's that going?
That is always the goal, to give people options up and down the ballot. And I think Wayne Gretzky said you're going to miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. Mm-hmm. We want to take all the shots. I can say that is how I have spent my winter vacation. That's how I've spent Christmas break, is I've been on the phone, had some great conversations with Democrats all over the state who are interested in running. We'll know more once we get to that filing period, which is January 12th through January 31st, because it's been a lot of great conversations, but we'll know for sure once people step up and start putting their name on the dotted line.
What do you say to them? If you go into, and I'm just going to pick a city at random, you'd go to...
I was on the phone with somebody from Logan, two people from Logan County.
Okay, all right, we'll go to my hometown then. All right, so what do you say to them as far as, why they should run?
First of all, I say that, if you can read the tea leaves and you look at all the special elections that we've had since November of 2024, at all the elections we've had, I believe Democrats across the country, we've won, I believe, around 90% of those elections. Everybody, on both, if you watch Fox News, they'll tell you. I mean, everybody's saying it looks like it's going to be a very good year for Democrats in 2026. But we've got to have candidates on the ballot. We have to organize everywhere. We plan. We can win anywhere. We got to organize everywhere. And so say, we got to step up and give people options. And
but when you go into
be part of the solution,
when you go into some of these areas, the more rural areas, and you mentioned Logan County, and that's so. What I mean, you understand what a hard sell it could be for somebody to get elected. And I'm old enough to remember when 90% or so of the electorate of the voters were Democrat in Logan County. That's certainly changing. Mm-hmm. You recognize what a hard sell that could be to the voters, because all politics, like it or not, is national, and it's about imaging, and it's a vote for so and so is a vote for fill in the AOC or Biden or Kamala Harris or whoever. It can be a hard sell for people.
It is it is very difficult, and I definitely don't sugarcoat it or tell people anything that isn't true. We all know it is an uphill battle, but also say look around. We've had Republican control in this state for over a decade. And what have they done for Logan County? What have they done for Boone County? What have they done for any county? What have they really done other than push these divisive culture war issues that do nothing but get people mad at each other and help get unqualified people elected? Is what those issues aim to do, and what they've been successful at doing. So people are starting to wake up. We've seen that in election after election since last November, and say, look, I ask for people if they want to be part of the solution rather than part of the problem. Step up. What do we have to lose?
State Democratic Party Chair and Delegate Mike Pushkin, thank you so much. Happy New Year, my friend.
And if somebody wants a Happy New Year to you, if somebody is interested in running, go to WVDemocrats.com/run. WVDemocrats.com/run, and we'll be talking soon.
All right.
Thanks for having me on. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Mike Pushkin.